Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. It's my first crash course in 2025, so let's just quickly celebrate that. And before we get started, I want to wish you guys that you guys have good health, you guys are happy this year, and let's get started. So here, this is going to be a crash course on the Italian opening, or the Gioco Piano game here. It's going to be a sideline that I use in my tournaments, so I'm about 1800, and I use in my tournaments to beat a lot of people, and I'd say that my opening in tournaments over the board has at least 90% win rate, so let's get started and see how you can win more games. So usually here, I'm just going to quickly start recording here. I'm going to play e4, opponent's going to play e5, and we get this Gioco Piano or Italian position, right? So let's quickly first cover some traps here, okay? So a lot of times your opponents are going to play, say bishop c5, you play c3, trying to get the center. Now they play h6 because they're scared of your attacking blind with knight g5, right? The fried liver. Of course, we're not going to go for that, but here there's two winning moves already. Already you're completely winning. You can play d4 or b4. I like to play b4, and after they move their bishop, b5 attacking this knight. So if the knight comes here, you can grab the e5 pawn, right? Because you chase the knight away, and you basically win the game. Queen h5, and a really easy to see that you're winning. Also, your upper pawn. So a lot of times they're going to play knight to a5, tagging your bishop. But here you're going to play bishop to f7. Okay, so you switch your attack from the queen side to the king side. So they're going to take you. Now you play knight takes e5. So here, if their king comes anywhere to these two squares, then you can play knight to g6. For example, here, knight g6, and you want the rook. Same with f8. So they have to go somewhere else. f6 and e6 look a bit weird, although e6 is the best move. We have queen h5, and it's pretty easy to see that you're still winning here. It's +3 according to the engine. So, yeah, still winning. But most of them are going to come to e8, and you can basically just checkmate them here. It's made in a couple of moves. Like this, check, bishop a3. And you don't have to memorize all these moves, but it's pretty easy to realize that you have a crushing attack. And after a couple of moves, it's checkmate. After queen f7, takes in queen f5. So you guys don't have to memorize this, but it's a pretty natural checkmate. You guys just have to take a note a little bit on that. But here, that covers the play h6. What if they don't play h6, right? What if they play the main line with knight f6? You play d3, right? Not d4, because that leads to the main line, a bunch of variations. But if they know the line, it's basically a draw. So after d3, a lot of times they're going to play d5. They think you're being passive and they can strike. But that's actually another blunder, because after you take, you have this queen to b3 move. So if they move their knight anywhere, they lose their f7 pawn, and you win the game. The king's exposed, their upper pawn, game over. Here, what if they just guard their knight, right? And you can take the b7 pawn, attacking their knight. Wherever their knight goes, you can play queen to b5, a fork, and you can take the pieces. Here, just realize that the queen's guarding the knight, so just take the bishop instead. Here, after takes and takes, you're basically winning. You have to move the king, and now you can take their knight. So you win the game. It's castle, and you win. So that covers that. And what if they know everything? Okay, so they don't play any of that, and let's say they play d6. Then now you play this mysterious move, bishop to b3. So what's your idea? So if you guys play this opening right now, a lot of you guys know it's kind of annoying when they play knight a5, attacking your bishop, and it's kind of hard, right? Because this bishop is very important. So when you play bishop b3, if they come here, it's not very good because now your bishop is safe on c2. You can always come back, and on the other hand, you're threatening b4 fork. So they basically just wasted time. So it's actually already better for you here. So that's why we play bishop b3, already a sideline. But other than that, it's not a bad move. You're still, white is slightly better. It's already 0.3 still. So it's fine here. It's not like an opening trap or cheap trick. It's just a mysterious move that takes your opponent out of their preparation. And a really nice move here. So here you're basically waiting for your opponent to play bishop g4. If they play bishop g4 right now, great. But if they don't play bishop g4, they castle. You can also just wait for them to play bishop g4. And once they play bishop to g4, I would say you basically win here already. I'm kind of crazy, but I think you basically win here. In my tournaments, I basically win every game from here on. Here you just play h3, because now you get tempos kicking the bishop, right? If the bishop was on e6, then you don't get tempos, right? But here you get tempos kicking the bishop. Yeah, you can play knight f1 here. You don't even have to castle. You can, but I like knight f1. And you have two attacking plans here. You have g4 and you have knight g3. So if you play h6 or something, g4 is probably a bit better. But I think knight g3 is a bit more human. And after knight h4, a lot of times your opponents are going to hang their bishop like this and f4 because their pawn is pinned, so they can't move it. So notice that if their bishop was not on h4 and g6, you wouldn't get so many turns attacking the bishop, right? But because you got this tempo idea, they moved their bishop like 20 times, right? They played bishop g4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they wasted a lot of moves, and this just helped your attack. So let's say they play rook e8, play queen f3, and they think your knight's very strong, right? If we turn it around, it looks like, oh, this knight's putting pressure everywhere, and they want to trade it off, right? So a lot of times they're going to play knight to e7, but then that falls for our classic opening trap with with knight takes h6, deflection, the pawn's no longer guarding the knight, and you win the game. This pawn's going to be lost on the next move. This pawn's hanging on f7, knight h5, checkmate, and you can even castle long and play f4. So you're already completely winning. It's +5 according to the engine. So yeah, it's game over here. You win. So we see that if they play bishop g4, they basically lose. What if they don't play bishop g4? What if they play all the right ways? Then what do we do? So let's say they play the best way, okay? So after d6, bishop b3, they know you're waiting, so they play a6, ready to play this. Keep waiting, and they play this. They also wait. So here you can castle. Also, if they play bishop g4, here you can use the same attacking plan, just don't play g4. So you play something like this. Now, same attacking plan, and play all this, right? So they're usually not going to play that. They're going to castle, and here you're about to start your attacking plan, right? But if you play this right away, there's knight g4, and this counterattack by black, which is pretty unpleasant here with f5. So I don't really like this for white. So I play h3 first, just getting with the king and blocking that plan. And now they play h6, play rook e1, and after whatever they do, knight f1, and you just keep applying your plan, right? You just keep slowly improving. Knight h5 here, and you see, even though they play all the right moves and they don't give you any tempos, you still arrive at this prime attacking position, and it's really hard to stop knight h6, right? So here the engine's best move is actually king h8, which doesn't really do anything. It just gives you check. So yeah, the engine even thinks you're winning here, but the best play in bishop h6, it's checkmate on the next move, and they basically can't stop it. So you basically win here. If they don't do that, still +2 because they just can't stop knight h6. So yeah, you win here. What if so here if they like to saying if they take your bishop here at any time, they take, first of all, they remove an attacker from this square. Second of all, you can just take and open your rook, which was not active. So yeah, basically wins you the game. One more side note, that if they don't play h6, because you want to take the h6 pawn, right? They just don't ever play h6. And let's just say they keep going. H6, they just never play h6. I'm just going to quickly go through a couple of moves. And let's just say they just never play h6. Then what do you do? Because you don't have this sacrifice, right? Well, if they play something like, I don't know, here, it's also really hard for black to make any moves. They just don't play h6. First of all, you have bishop to g5. That wins the game. But second of all, you have this idea with, let's say, the placement here, you play knight to h5. So now you clear out the square here. It's not the best way because you have bishop g5, but just saying, you guys have this idea. After it takes, you guys have this attack on the g7 pawn. It's really hard to stop. So you guys can also use this pawn, okay? So now let's go take a look at the games that I played in my tournaments to see how you guys can apply it in your game, okay? So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so let's hop into our first game that I played in my tournament. I played this last year at 2024. Hard to believe, right? Last year. In about, I'd say probably like October, November. And here I was about 1700, 1800 USCF. And I was playing my opponent. My opponent's rating was about 1600, 1700, 1650, about that. So let's take a look how we used this opening plan to win the game. So we started with e4, played e5, and we got our standard position, right? So he didn't blunder our opening traps, right? He didn't play h6 or something like that. So he's pretty experienced, right? Experienced guy. And he played this bishop e6 idea and didn't play bishop g4, right? So h3, still preventing knight g4. And after rook e8, rook e1, we got this position. Also, we mentioned this rook opening idea. And here, after knight g3, he's basically already worse here, I would say. And here, as black, you really can't find a move. Like if you're playing black, he probably didn't like a5 or something, but a5 is the best move. But then you can just play your attacking plan right here, queen f3. So in the game, he just didn't know what to do. He already thought his position was losing. I asked him after the game, so he played king f8. Like, how depressed is your position for you to play king f8, right? Such a weird move, but understandable because black doesn't have any moves. Sorry, king f8. Knight h4. He played knight e7. Okay, I don't want to trade this knight off. Then knight g8. Like, how passive does your position have to be to play king f8 and knight e8, right? So here I just went on to win the game. I don't think we have to keep analyzing. He's retreating everything to the past squares, and we can just use our sacrifices like this to just win the game. So later I played d4. It takes open the center and infiltrate with my rook on the a file. So yeah, that basically won the game for me. So this game's not much that we need to analyze. It's already +2 for me. So yeah. Let's take a look at the next game here. I'm just gonna quickly go back to the start. And here my opponent played, I was playing white here. My opponent this time was very high rated. He was about 2,000 over the board. You guys can imagine that's like 2,300 online. So that's very, very hard beat. But here I still use our same attacking plan to win the game. So a lot of times the move order, by the way, doesn't really matter because you can still play here. They play bishop c5, transpose. But here my opponent played the Hungarian defense with bishop to e7. Yeah, it's a good line, but we can, even though it's a bit different, we can use the same attacking plan. So since the opening is a bit different, we can just quickly skip through it. And we got to this position here, and I played knight g3, right? So notice here I didn't play h3. You might be asking why, because here his bishop's not on c5, so he does not have this knight g4 idea. If he did play it, it's just going to be bad with h3. He also doesn't have knight h6 and f5, so it's just a waste of time. So here I didn't play h3, and in the game, I played rook ft8, lining up, and you don't really have to worry about that. You can just play queen e2. And after a couple of moves here, you can see we reached our standard attacking position, right? We have this prime attacking position. The bishops are out. Bishops, right? Putting a lot of pressure. My arrows are pretty bad today. And yeah, we can just use our attacking plan like this. Ooh, let's not go to the end. So here my opponent played knight e5. Remember, we played bishop b3 because of playing knight e5. You always have bishop c2, right? Very, very good idea here. And after knight h5, knight h4, knight f5 here, played bishop f8, right? So this is pretty common in the Hungarian defense to play like this, but nevertheless, you're already better. It's already plus 0.5. And after here, I played queen to f3, lining up this. And even as a 2,000 rated player, he missed this tactic with knight takes h6, right? But it's really hard already. The engine wants knight h7. It's kind of mysterious, but he's just trying to like get out of the way. Probably I would play here something like queen g4, or play b3 first, and after he moves the knight. And now queen g4 probably looks pretty nice. You're lining up all sorts of threats, and it's already better for you. So even if they play the best moves, it's already better for white. That's pretty crazy, right? But even as a 2,000 rated player here, he missed knight takes h6 and played knight d6 here. And I played knight takes h6. And I won the game later on. I'll just quickly show you guys. The game happened like this. Played rook f3, pressuring this pawn. Here I played bishop h6, because if he took with the king, it's just checkmate. right? Or I think there was a faster one, knight f4. Yeah, sorry, covering the square. Sorry, I'm being dumb right now. I played knight f4, checkmate. So after bishop h6, I played this, and he just sacked his queen. Right now it's a fork. Two bishops. He can't guard both, so he ended up sacrificing his queen, and I won the game using a rook lift. And you guys can see. If you guys enjoyed this content or learned something new today, make sure to smash those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy 2025. Bye. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this content or learned something new today, make sure to smash those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy 2025. Bye. Thank you for watching.